Hello, welcome back to the Retro Shed. I'm Barry.
I'm Josh.
He's Josh, and today we want to start with some sad news, actually, from last week. Now, many of you are probably already aware of this, but the British industrial designer of the look and feel of many of Sinclair's computers from the 80s, Mr. Rick Dickinson, passed away last Tuesday in the US. He was diagnosed with cancer in 2015, which he kept quiet, actually.
RIP. Rick joined Sinclair Research in 1979 as their in-house designer and went on to design the ZX81, ZX Spectrum and Sinclair QL. He was also approached by Alan Sugar in 1987 to help design a portable computer for Amstrad.
He did, yeah. And
Amstrad,
indeed. His designs are absolutely iconic, and it's sad that he never really got a chance to see his latest design, the ZX Spectrum Next, to get launched. When I think of the 80s, actually, many iconic designs come to mind, such as the Rally Chopper, the Rubik's Cube, the Escort XR3i, but one of the images that epitomises the 80s for me will always be the little rubber-keyed Spectrum. It is just wonderful.
Now, in other retro news, it's been about a year since we all got excited about the prospect of a new console to be launched bearing the legendary Atari icon.
Oh, yes.
Since that time, we've heard bits and pieces here and there, and the Atari Box project, as it was then called, even went quiet for a while, but news this week is it's back and it's going on sale.
Apparently the Atari VCS, as it's now called, will go on pre-sale on Indiegogo on the 30th of May this year, which is in 30 days, something like that, for $199. Not cheap. I think that's without a controller as well, and it's to be launched actually in some point in 2019.
So that's the point, basically. Who are Atari nowadays anyway? Don't even exist as a gaming company anymore.
I don't know whether Atari exists at all, whether they have anything to do with games or just a front for something, but it's all very... Can I sum it up like this? It's a bit... Give us your money and you'll get something at some point that plays some games. I also play some Atari 2600 games that you probably already have on another console somewhere. It may come with a controller. It may not. And it streams stuff. Probably.
Yes, so all we know is it's an attractive, retro, modern-looking thing with an AMD processor, supports 4K, 60 frames per second, USB, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi, which is a bit like most other TV set-top boxes devices on the market right now. Such as the Nvidia Shield TV. Yep. So what's it for? I
have absolutely no idea what this thing is for. And there you have it. So basically, hand over $200 on the 30th of May and you may get a device at some point in 2019.
We're not sure what you'll get.
No.
It might have a controller, it might not. It might have one little piece of plastic. It might
have nothing. And so after all that, it wasn't a new console from Atari after all. It's another 4K streaming set-top box that runs Linux. And that for me is very disappointing indeed, and that's why we won't be buying one. Right, so going on to what we wanted to look at today. So, Josh, I've got a question for you.
Go.
Tell me about Archer Maclean.
Who? Never heard of him.
You've never heard of Archer Maclean?
I'm joking. I'm joking. Wasn't he in the SAS and he's really good with bow and arrow? Like, what's her name in Hunger Games?
Wasn't Archer Maclean in the SAS?
Yeah.
Are you thinking about the same Archer Maclean?
Maclean, bow and arrow, Archer. I'm joking. Chill out.
Okay.
He is the legendary 8-bit and 16-bit
That's the one.
coder who loves arcade machines and brought his wonderful games such as International Karate, Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker, and of course, IK Plus.
IK Plus, that's right. You had me worried there just for a moment. You don't know who Archer Maclean is?
Now,
I'm going to kick you out.
I'll call Childline. Now, it's fair to say that beat-em-up games from the 80s are 10 a penny, and there are literally dozens of classic games. Such as Kung Fu Master, Yar Kung Fu,
Yar.
Way of the Exploding...
There's no pirates. There's no pirates in it.
Way of the Exploding Fist, which you can't say, Double Dragon, etc.
Etc.
But the only one that I've loved since I was about 6 years old, something crazy like that, and was first shown it is undoubtedly International Karate Plus or IK Plus for short.
IK Plus, absolutely. I think it may well be the first game I ever showed Josh on the Amiga many years ago.
Probably
when he
first
had
ever
long
game.
hair, and he instantly took a liking to it. You did though, didn't you? Had long hair. It's not your fault though, it's Mum's fault.
Yes, it is actually.
It is definitely one of my favourite games on the Amiga, and I have many fond memories of going around my mate's house and playing it on his Atari ST.
Now, the original game, International Karate, was released in 1986 by System 3, who I've never heard of,
Yeah.
and was designed by legendary 8-bit coder Archer Maclean, who was also never heard of, with an awesome soundtrack from Rob Hubbard, and I have heard of him.
You've heard of Rob Hubbard?
Yes, the original game was released on pretty much every single 8-bit computer of the day.
I think it was. So IK Plus was the natural follow-up to IK, strangely enough. And that was also released by System 3.
Never.
IK Plus was released 1 year later in 1987, again developed by Archer, with an absolutely brilliant soundtrack by Rob Hubbard, although the Amiga soundtrack was arranged by Dave Lowe. In fact, the music is so good on this game, it was voted the best 16-bit soundtrack of the year at the Golden Joystick Awards.
Yeah, I'll do that as well. In this version of the game, instead of one-on-one players, there are 3 karate people fighting against each other on a lovely seaside beach at sunset.
Could be sunrise for that matter, yeah, you don't know, do you?
You can either play one player against 2 computer players, or if you play with a friend, or your dad, you all fight each other with the computer playing the third chappy. Unlike the previous game that featured different scenes around the world, IK Plus only has one scene.
And that scene is very strange actually, because you press strange buttons on your keyboard, things happen in the background. So at one point you can see Pac-Man, you can see a spider, you can see a worm, a submarine comes out of the lake, strange things happen, and of course you can make them drop their trousers. Now, unlike many beat-em-ups of the time, who you couldn't get the characters to drop their trousers, no, you're not trying to reduce each other's energy like in Street Fighter and a lot of other beat-em-ups. The idea of this game is to win each round by scoring points with well-placed direct hits on your opponents, that's right. After each hit, your player crumples to the floor with stars spinning around their heads, and you normally end up shouting at the screen, "For God's sake, get up!"
I usually shout, "Get up!" Now, the only issue with this model is that during a 2-player game, it's very easy to be knocked out at a very early stage and not be able to continue.
Yeah, it's just great fun to play, and I've noticed that something strange about this game. There's lots of strange things about this game, actually, but I've noticed something strange. I'm pretty sure I heard the sound effects before. Many years ago when I was watching Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon many years ago, and I heard some of the sounds of the game. So I went back last night and had a quick look, and this is what I found.
The Atari ST version took around 6 months to develop.
That's not bad.
And most of the coding was done using a PC-based assembler. The Amiga port was done in 7 days, is identical apart from the music.
That's not bad in 6 months. We think some games now take 6 years to write. As well as the ST and Amiga versions of IK Plus, there were versions for the Commodore 64, Amstrad.
I didn't even look at the script then, I legit just thought.
ZX Spectrum, Amiga CD32, and later in 2003 versions were released for the Game Boy Advance and PlayStation consoles, which I've never seen. So let's take a trip back now to October 1987.
Back to the Future.
And enjoy a bit of...
Dun, dun.
Dun.
Oh!
So Josh is white, I'm red. Been... Oh, didn't want to turn around.
Nice points there.
Well, all you're going to do is just forward roll around.
Why doesn't it let me kick you? Oh, that's your point. You stole my points. White wins. Let's go. Red stays in. Blue must improve. Right. Oh, what is that? Oh, nice kick. Oh, hang on a minute. He's camping me. Look at that. He's camping me. He's waiting for me to get up to wreck me. Oh. Was I controlling white there?
Oh, I'm stood there laughing and I get knocked out.
I still won. Red wins? How? I'm on 2,400.
I'm not sure.
Hang on. 2,400, 2,000, it says you won. I don't even understand that. Don't even understand that.
Oh, you can't beat the bonus level. The last time we played this, right, Josh, there was a head coming, and he turned around and faced in the opposite direction. I think it's on one of our previous videos, isn't it?
Oh, Amiga games. Skills. Button mashing for pros. Come on, punch him. Oh, nice. Oh, hang on. You're stealing all our kills here.
They're not kills.
But whatever they are. How'd you kick? I'm just spamming. Why am I backflipping into a wall?
Oh.
It's not. I haven't got a single point yet, and I don't understand.
I'm just going to stand over here until one of them can be bothered to come over.
That's rubbish! White is out! God's sake, I'm out!
Are you out?
Yeah!
So, I've got to...
Oh.
And am I red out?
You're red.
Get up!
This is stupid. I'm not even in. How are you?
Ooh.
Right, can I have a go now?
Awesome soundtrack.
Can I have a go now?
Oh, hang on. I've got to kick some bombs first. Could happen.
And bombs don't actually look like that, but still. How did that kill you?
Whoa. Oh.
I just backflipped into you, idiot.
Right, your turn. Right, Josh normally lasts 3 balls. He's still going. There you go, 4 balls. You truly are dying.
I'm gonna have to get some points with this.
Right, how much fun was that? We were laughing. You got to admit, we were laughing an awful lot. It is a funny game to play. It is hysterical. And always at this point in our show, I always say, so what do you think of the game? But because you love it so much, there's no point.
Well, you're right. No point in asking because I do like it. I love it actually. Just look how much fun we had with it and how much we laughed.
Yes, and I've got to admit, you are utterly useless at the bonus stages.
I'm not very good at reactions things. I'm not very good when it comes to reacting quickly.
You play cricket?
Yeah, so?
Don't you have to have fast reactions in cricket?
No, you watch the ball. You know, it's not like the ball's going like the ball's right here and it goes suddenly bang and it just appears there. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. So the bonus bits then, they are funny though. You've got to bounce heads and balls with a dustbin
Remember that when
lid.
I was like this? It was like, just turns around.
And you've got to kick cartoon comedy bombs.
Yeah.
Which is always funny, it's always fun.
It is.
And you're always going to lose.
Yes.
But it's good fun. So 5 stars from you then?
Yeah.
5 stars. IK Plus on the Amiga. Go and play it. It's
5
great
stars.
fun. It is brilliant. Now, we did some filming last week for a very special show that we are taking part in, and we are proud to be part of it. We mentioned it quite a while ago, so it's time to mention it again. 19th and the 20th of May is the Revival 2018 show, and it's taking place at Bescott Stadium in Warsaw. That's in England, near London, in the UK. And it's going to be an absolute blast. We are really looking forward to taking part in that. We've done a special 10-minute show that's going to be part of Dave Perry's show called Games Animal TV. So it's going to be great fun working with the team from Revival and Dave Perry. So we are really looking forward to that. If you're around that weekend, grab yourself a ticket, get yourself along. There's some great guests. Archer Maclean's going to be there, apparently.
Who?
Archer Maclean.
Who?
Don't start. Right, so thank you very much for watching us. Hope you enjoyed our look back at IK Plus. And again, really sorry to hear the news about Rick Dickinson. Very sad news. So, Rick, you're a legend. Rest in peace, fella. And your designs
are
live
legendary.
On. And personally, I can't wait to get hold of the ZX Spectrum next. So we'll catch up with you guys soon. Take care. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.